Hello, this is Jonathan Gardner with JonathanAGardner.com and InSource Technologies. I'm here today to talk to you guys about database references and projects with Visual Studio. So I was working on creating a project so I could monitor and manage all of my DBA scripts that I use, some of which are the index defrag script from SQLFool and Michelle Ufford, and the WhoIsActive script that I use from Atom Mechanic. So I opened this project, or I started this project, and I added the Atom script, which I know works very well. So I know that I have it in production and I don't have any issues running it. So I loaded it up, added it to my project, and immediately I checked on my error list and saw all these warnings. All these warnings are essentially references to unresolved references to an object. And so I started digging to find out what's going on, because I know that this references the master database because of all of the DMVs and sys objects that we connect to in the master database. Why is it throwing these errors? Why does it look like this? So what I went ahead and did is did a little research and found out that you have to add all the schema objects to the master from the master database to your project in order for these references to resolve themselves and you not to get any errors. So we're going to cover how to do that today. In the tree on the Solutions Explorer over here, you can see that you have a folder for references. You can also see the same information by opening up the properties of the database project. You can see them here. You can see that we have no references. So from either place, from the References folder in the Solutions Explorer or from the References tab in the Properties window, you can see that we can add a reference. I'm going to do it from the Solutions Explorer simply because once you add a single reference, you're not able to add any more database references from the Properties window. So we're going to go ahead and close that. So what we'll see is you can add many types of references. What we're going to add is a database reference. Visual Studio ships with two different schema types for the master database. It's for 2005 and 2008 databases. Those are already on your machine installed. So let's go ahead and browse for those. Those are located. Let me go out to the initial drive here so you can see where we go. So I'm going to go inside of my program files and I'm going to open up the Visual Studio folder. Inside of the Visual Studio folder, you'll see another folder called VST SDB. We'll open that up and we're going to look at extensions. Inside of this, you'll see that we have a SQL Server folder and two different options. Inside of the 2005 folder, you can find the DB schemas for master and MSDB for a 2005 database. In this case, I'm going to deploy this to a 2008 database, so I'm going to select this one. Select the master and hit open. I accept the defaults here, so I'm going to hit OK. And what you'll see is that Visual Studio will go through and start checking these references, and it'll clear out all of these errors. And there you go. You can see it parsed through, and when the item was saved, it cleared out all those warnings for us. So now we can go ahead and go about our work and reference any of the items from the master database without throwing an error. Again, this is Jonathan Gardner with InSource Technology, bringing some information to you about referencing the master database in your projects in Visual Studio 2010.